Act like the person you want to become. Make money choices like the person you want to become. Financial confidence isn't just about how much money you have. It's about how you think, feel, and act towards money. I want to help you build your financial confidence so that when you see yourself, you have faith in who you are and what you're capable of doing. You have faith in your ability to make money, to grow money. You have a positive and healthy relationship with money. And most importantly, you are confident in yourself. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Confident and Killing It podcast. As always, it's your girl Tiwalola, and I am here to wake you up to your worth so you can be confident, unstoppable, and dare to live the life that you truly desire. I know you are ambitious. I know you have big dreams and big goals, but sometimes the size of your confidence doesn't quite match the size of your dreams. So I am here to help you master your mind, believe in yourself, so you can show up in the world with some main character energy and turn those dreams into a reality. So let's get into it. Today's episode is all about how to boost your financial confidence and charge your worth. So over the last couple of episodes, I've been talking about my business journey. I'm celebrating 5 years of entrepreneurship this year. And so I've been thinking about all the pivotal moments in my journey, all my major lessons that I have learned building a business, and I'm sharing them with you. So I've talked about the power of your network. I've talked about the power of being bold, setting big goals for yourself, taking big moves. And so the next thing I want to share with you is on financial confidence, because financial confidence isn't just about how much money you have. It's about how you think, feel, and act towards money. And so this isn't about, tips on how to become a billionaire. And full disclosure, this is not financial advice. I am just sharing with you lessons I have learned about how to switch my mindset from a scarcity mentality to an abundance mentality when it comes to money. Let me explain. In the beginning of my career, I definitely had a scarcity mindset when it came to money. I didn't know where my next paycheck was going to come from. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm navigating business and the pandemic at the same time. I hadn't built out fully my pipeline for income. And so as inquiries were coming to me, I was saying yes to everything because I was like, okay, I'm getting this opportunity now, but I don't know what's going to come next month. I was very much just responding to whatever was happening to me. I didn't have proper plans in place to build a solid income for myself. And so because of that, whenever an opportunity would come, I would immediately say yes. So I would say yes and I would say yes. And it came out of this fear of not knowing when my next paycheck is going to come. So let me just say yes to everything. Now, that kind of thinking got me to a point of burnout and even made me feel more anxious and fearful about money. So one thing I had to do very early on in my entrepreneurial career was change my relationship with money. And that's what I want to teach you how to do today. I want to help you build your financial confidence so that when you see yourself, you have faith in who you are and what you're capable of doing. You have faith in your ability to make money, to grow money. You have a positive and healthy relationship with money. And most importantly, you are confident in yourself, that you can manage your finances and you can move through life in a way that feels healthy when it comes to your money. So the first step when it comes to building financial confidence and charging your worth is to understand the power of your mind. And one of my favorite quotes, she knew the power of her mind, so she programmed it for success. And I love that quote so much because your mind is truly so powerful. And when I heard that quote for the first time, it clicked. I had a light bulb moment come on. And I was like, yes, I'm going to program my mind for success. I'm going to program my mind so that my mind feels confident and strong when it comes to thinking about money instead of fearful and anxious. So let's go through how powerful our minds can be. It is scientifically proven that your thoughts lead to your feelings and your feelings lead to the actions that you take or don't take. So for example, the thought, I'm not good with money. Okay? Think about how many times that thought pops up in your head. I'm not good with money. What does that thought then do to you? It makes you feel anxious. It makes you feel worried. You're not good with money. So you need to stress out to make money, to find money, to try and save money. But then you end up, right, because you feel anxious and worried, you end up making choices that sabotage you instead of making choices that empower you. You end up making choices that make you shrink back instead of choices that make you move forward into your future boldly. So the story you tell yourself is very important. If you think you are bad with money, you will make bad money choices. Your thoughts play out into the actions and the choices that you make. Your thoughts can either attract or repel financial opportunities, because if you are having thoughts that are bad around money, like I said, your actions are going to sabotage you. So you might actually get a really good opportunity, but because your financial thoughts are negative, you end up passing up on that opportunity that could have brought you some extra money or even an amazing opportunity that could lead to financial freedom. So you remember, your thoughts can either attract or repel financial opportunities. The good news is you can rewire your thinking. So if you're listening to this episode or watching this episode and you have had a history of bad thinking with money, of negative thinking with money, I want you to just take a deep breath. Okay, take a deep breath and relax and realize that because of your brain's ability, because of your brain's neuroplasticity, this is your brain's ability to rewire itself, to learn new ways of doing life. Your brain can literally rewire itself. So you can go from somebody who has been bad with money in the past to somebody who is excellent with their finances. All it takes is learning. Okay, so your confidence in action tip, right, is to map out what your money story is. What are the thoughts you have around money? What do you tell yourself when it comes to your money management? Okay. So I want you to think about, what does that story look like? And I want you to write it down, because in order to overcome some of the negative thoughts that you have, in order to overcome some of your limiting beliefs, you first have to be aware of what your thoughts are. So pay attention. Anytime there's money involved, anytime you're spending money, anytime you're looking at your bank account, what thoughts come up for you? Write those down and just begin to establish what your story is when it comes to money. The second step in order to boost your financial confidence is to identify your limiting beliefs. So we want to think about, where did some of your limiting beliefs come from? Some of it comes from your childhood. Maybe you saw how your parents spoke about money. Money doesn't grow on trees, right? Or money is evil, or rich people are greedy. Think about, what are some of the things you saw. Maybe you grew up in a household where, money was tight. And so you constantly saw money as something that was scarce instead of something that can actually be abundant for you. Maybe your money mindset comes from the cultural messaging you see in the media, right? We see so many times in different movies or TV shows how women are always overspenders. Women are always bad with their money. Some of those messages in the media you consume can sink into your subconscious and make you feel like you are one of those people. So pay attention to the type of media you consume. All of these things can influence your money mindset. Your experience with failure and hardship can also influence your money mindset. So let's say, for example, you've been through a situation where you lost your job, or you just living from paycheck to paycheck and you are struggling financially. If you go through a season in your life where you are struggling financially, you might begin to think that your whole life is going to be one big financial struggle. You might begin to believe that you're never going to make it, or you're never going to be rich, or money is something that you will just always end up struggling with. Maybe it has scarred you and you carry that weight around with you your whole life. Maybe you invested in something and you lost all your money, and now you're super worrisome and fearful about losing your money again. And so now you've just become a shell of yourself. Okay, think about things that might have happened to you in your life that have influenced your money mindset. And then the final thing that can influence your money mindset is your friends, your inner circle. If you surround yourself with people that are not good with money, that do not value money, right, or saving, or do not invest in themselves, you will end up picking up some of those habits. But if you surround yourself with people who are thinking about their future planning, thinking about retirement, or even thinking about ways to even grow their money and use their money for good, you will begin to think like that too. You don't know what you don't know. So who you hang out around and your inner circle can also influence your money mindset. So this is where our thoughts around money come from: our childhood, the media we consume, the friends we hang around with, and different life challenges or circumstances we may have found ourselves in. But just because all of those things may be negative doesn't mean that has to continue being your reality. It doesn't mean it even has to be your future. You can make a decision after listening to this episode that you are going to change the limiting beliefs you have around money. Here are some signs that you have a scarcity mindset and have loads of limiting beliefs when it comes to money. You might see some of these signs. So you either have a lot of fear and anxiety when it comes to money, especially your future. You're not sure how you're going to secure your future. Whenever you think about money, you just think, oh gosh, there's this sense of dread that just comes over you. You avoid looking at your finances. You spend, and you never open your bank account. Do you know that you're meant to open your bank account every single day to check how much has been spent in your bank account and to see that there are no unusual charges or spending in your account? But some of us are so anxious when we open it because we spend, and we don't even want to see what is potentially left in our bank accounts, that we never even open it. That is a sign that you have a scarcity mindset around money. You're so afraid to see what you have left because you're worried that it just is never enough. You're worried that you've been behaving badly with money and you don't want to deal with the consequences. Another sign that you have a scarcity mindset is that you undervalue yourself and you underprice for your work and your services. You know you should be charging more, but you're afraid to charge more because you start to think, what if people don't buy from me? What if they don't order my products or buy into my services? What if I miss out on opportunities because they've gone with somebody cheaper? I used to be so nervous when I was negotiating, contracts or negotiating my rates, that I would get rejected from opportunities because my rates were too high. And so I would think, okay, maybe I need to underprice myself so that I can get a yes. If you get a yes based on you underpricing yourself, that is not a win. That is not a win. Let me say that again. If you get an opportunity just because you underpriced yourself because you are too afraid to charge your worth, that is not a win. Okay, so you have to be okay with getting rejected. In the beginning of my career, someone said to me, "It is not your business whether they're going to say yes or no to how much you charge." Right? All you should be worried about is setting your price that reflects your value, that reflects the amount of work and services that you're going to do, and you walk away from the situation. Okay? It is not your business to worry about how people are going to respond to your rates. So if you constantly underprice yourself and undervalue yourself, that is a sign you have a scarcity mindset. You don't value yourself enough to charge what you are worth. You also see money as bad or evil. So, for example, maybe you see that a lot of people use money in a very bad way. And so you think that when people get money, they change, they start to act funny. So you think having a lot of money makes you bad, is going to change the way you think, is going to change your morals or your value system. And so it's something you want to run away from. This is also where, that idea of you're just a humble person, you live within your means, you don't need too much in life. And so you run away from the idea that money can be abundance. But money is not good or evil. It is what the person does with it that is good or evil. Money is just a tool. Money is neutral, right? It is the intention behind the person using that money that is either good or evil. So don't think that, in life, you're just meant to be humble and poor. No, right? You're not. You deserve abundance. You deserve wealth. And you can have that mindset and tap into it. And then finally, you might feel that your financial goals are out of reach, right? You have goals for yourself. Maybe you want to buy a house. Maybe you want to be able to go on holiday a number of times a year. Maybe you want to one day start a business, but it requires money. It requires a lot of financial backing. And then you start to think it's so out of your reach. You're never going to have enough money to make that dream a reality. That is a sign of scarcity mindset. So step one was understand the power of your mind. And step two is now about your limiting beliefs. So you need to be able to question and challenge some of these limiting beliefs once you identify them. Now, this is the negative thought detector. These three questions can help you identify limiting beliefs. The first question, think about it. Is it 100% facts or am I making an assumption? A lot of the times we make assumptions about ourselves that are not even true. Okay. So think about it. Are you making an assumption or is what you're thinking about yourself 100% facts? The next question to ask yourself, does this thought sabotage me or empower me? Okay. Sabotaging thoughts take you away from your dreams and your goals. Empowering thoughts move you closer to your dreams and your goals. Okay. And then the last question to ask yourself is, would you ever talk to a friend like that? How you speak to yourself, how you think about money, would you give someone else that same advice when it comes to how they should think and feel about money? If the answer is probably not, and the thought sabotages you, then you want to take that thought and throw it in the bin. Telling yourself you are bad with money, telling yourself that you are never going to have enough money to make your dreams come true does not serve you in any way. Ask yourself, does this thought serve me? If it doesn't, let it go and create a new reality for yourself. This is one of my favorite things about being confident at killing it. At any given time, you can create a new reality for yourself. At any given time, you can challenge ways that you have thought about life, money, career, love, relationships, and you can carve a new way to think. You can carve out a new journey for yourself. And that takes me on to point number three, which is you have to wake up to your worth and own your confidence. As a teenager, I was not confident, okay? I was actually a very insecure teenager. My mind was a mess. I constantly thought I wasn't pretty enough, I wasn't skinny enough, I wasn't special. I just thought I was the boring child, okay? And then it wasn't until I learned about personal development that I learned that I could reprogram my mind for success. I learned about the intentionality of personal growth. And when I learned about those things, I changed my life. I started to invest in myself, invest in my confidence, and really break free from all the limiting beliefs, the limiting stories I was telling myself. And now, 12 years later, I'm standing here today as a confident woman who believes in herself and who is using her gifts and talents to help other people. That was not me 12 years ago. So, wherever you are with your financial story, you can change that. You can wake up to realize that your worth is intrinsic. You matter simply because you exist. And if you've been listening to the podcast for a long time, you know that's one of our confident and killing it mantras. Your worth is intrinsic. You matter simply because you exist. Your worth doesn't depend on how much money you have, the color of your skin, where you were born, what job you have. The fact that you are alive and you are here means that you matter. So when you are putting yourself forward to negotiate your contracts, to charge for your businesses and your services, your starting place is somebody who is worthy. Okay? Worth and value are actually two different things. Your worth is intrinsic. No one can take that away from you. The fact that you are alive means that you are worthy. Worth comes from inside of you. Society cannot dictate your worth. Do not give society that power. Society cannot dictate your worth. You dictate your worth. Now, value can actually increase and decrease. Value depends on your qualifications, your network, your assets, all of those things. So my value as a confidence coach, as a public speaker has increased over the years, right? Because what I used to charge in the beginning of my career, I now charge way more later on in my career. but my worth has always been the same. My worth was the same when I charged peanuts, and my worth is still the same when I charge more for my business. Okay, so no one can take your worth away. As you present yourself where you want to negotiate certain terms, know that your starting place is you are already worthy. The beautiful thing about building confidence, and this is another khaki mantra, is that knowledge and capability are not the same thing. So just because maybe right now you do not know how to grow your money, you do not know how to invest your money, it doesn't mean you are not capable of learning. There are things in your life that you did not know how to do, but when you took time out to research, to practice, to learn, and level up, you became capable. So that capability was always there inside of you, but you never took the time out to invest in yourself and to awaken that capability. So after you understand the power of your mind, after you identify your limiting beliefs, you have to realize that you can be confident, you are worthy, and what happened to you and how you feel about yourself and your ability to make money does not take away from who you actually are. Your feelings are not your identity. The things that have happened to you in life are not your identity. So you may have made some bad choices when it comes to money. That is not your identity. And at any given point, you can choose a new path for yourself. If you want to become more confident in yourself, and so by default build your financial confidence, you have to know what you're good at doing. Remember your power circle in chapter 1 of Confidence and Killing It. You have to know your strengths, you have to know your passions, and you have to know your values. What are you good at doing? What sets your heart on fire? What are you passionate about? And what truly matters to you? When you know the things you're good at doing, when you know what you value, you can then begin to set goals that you care about. And then you can see how you can make your money goals part of your values. Okay, so knowing your power circle, living in your power circle helps you be more confident. And naturally, when you are confident in yourself, you can learn to be confident in your ability to manage money. But if you are not even confident in yourself, there is no option of you being confident with how you manage money. So at a foundational level, you have to build confidence in yourself and in your ability to succeed. Now, for this point, your confidence in action tip is I want to challenge you to make a bold move. Confidence comes from taking action. Confidence comes from keeping the promises that you make to yourself. So I want you to take a bold move. If you are an entrepreneur, I want you to raise your prices and be more unapologetic about it. One of my mentors told me every time I get a yes, I should increase my price. So every time I got a yes, someone signed up to my coaching program or someone booked me for a workshop at the beginning of my career, I increased my prices and I kept increasing them and I kept increasing them. Okay. So if people are saying yes to you too quickly, that means you're not charging enough. So make a bold move to increase your prices. Can you give me a quick minute to talk to you about something that can really transform your business finances this year? As I celebrate 5 years as a full-time entrepreneur, one thing I'd wish I'd done sooner is set up a business savings account. It would have helped me manage my money better and hit my goals faster. Now, over here, we learn and we level up. So now I use Tide's instant savings account. And guess what? When you open an account by the 1st of June 2025, you earn a boosted rate of 4.07% AER variable interest on your savings with no withdrawal fees and unlimited deposits. Plus, your money is FSCS protected up to £85,000. And here's the best part. When you sign up with promo code ConfidenceQ1 and fund £5,000 within 30 days, Tide will give you a bonus £100. Let's make 2025 your most financially confident year yet and head to Tide now and use promo code ConfidentQ1. Terms and conditions apply. For full details, please visit tide.co/savings. You'll find the link on screen and in the description box below. Rates are correct as of 19th December 2024. If you are more a career babe, I want you to make a bold move to negotiate your contract, right? If you feel like you are over delivering at work and you deserve a raise, set up time in your manager's calendar to talk about how you've been bringing value to the business and how you deserve this pay rise. And the final point, if you want to boost your financial confidence and charge your worth, is that you have to make financial confidence a lifestyle, okay? If you just do one thing once, it's not going to have an impact in your life. You have to be consistent with it. So here are key practices of things you can do to make financial confidence a lifestyle. The first thing is that you want to set meaningful money goals. So with my savings, this is what I used to do. I would get my salary, then I would move over half of my salary into my savings account because I wanted to feel accomplished, like I was saving. And then throughout the month, I would start to slowly transfer my savings back into my current account because I was overly ambitious with how much I wanted to save. I also didn't have anything I was particularly saving for. So I was just saving because people told me to save, but I didn't care about what I was saving for. But then when I turned my savings into specific pots, holiday pots, buying a house pot, shopping pot, whatever it is, whatever goal that you have, right? Investment pot. When I was saving for specific things that matter to me, business events pot, right? When I was saving for different things that matter to me, then I got better with managing my money. So you have to tie your financial goals with your values, with the things you really care about. My top values are impact, creativity, wellness, and spirituality. Okay. And so when I'm setting financial goals, I need to make sure that they tie in with impact. They tie in with creativity, wellness, and spirituality. When you also begin to make progress with your financial goals, you have to celebrate them. Now, this is not buying yourself a treat every time you save the right amount and then you spend the money that you are meant to be saving. Okay. That's not what this is about. But you can find ways to acknowledge that you are doing better than what you did before. So let's say you used to be somebody that orders takeaway every single day. And then you made a decision that you were going to cut back on that. And even though you still order takeaway, you didn't order it as much as you used to in the past. That is still a win, and that is worthy of celebration. When you take time to acknowledge your wins and your accomplishments, it makes you feel more confident and optimistic about your future. So if you want momentum and motivation to keep going, take a second and acknowledge how far you've come. Even though you're not at the finish line yet, even though, there might be a bigger milestone that you're working towards, but every small step matters because it is the daily practices that build real transformational change. It's the 1% every single day that builds transformational change. When it comes to building financial confidence, we can also start small. Maybe you've never really been good with money and this episode has inspired you to get better with your money. You don't have to make all the changes in the world in this first week as you've listened to this episode. Start small. Make sure it's manageable. Make sure you can be consistent and start to increase your actions as you go along. Stop worrying about step 7, 8, and 9 before you've even taken step 1. Okay? Trust that your future self can handle future business. Right now, in this present moment, your job is to commit to yourself and to keep the promises that you make to yourself. Okay, if you promise yourself that you're going to put X amount to the side and you're saving for something special, commit to that. Keep those promises you make to yourself. Change is not going to happen from one big action. Change happens from small baby steps. So pick phases for you to implement your new financial confidence. Maybe in this Q1, you want to practice saving. Pour your energy into that. Maybe in Q2, you want to get better at investing. Start the research, start practicing that. Start with small amounts of money. Okay? Take time. This is a lifestyle change, not just a 1 year thing. And finally, you have to invest in yourself. Knowledge is power and power is confidence. If you do not know how to invest, you can learn how to do so. There are platforms, there are programs to help you how to do that. There are podcasts, there are books to help you get better with money. Okay, so you have to invest in yourself. You cannot make excuses for yourself when resources exist. Okay, the resources exist to help you get a new perspective, to help you get a new money mindset. You cannot keep using excuses that you're bad with money so you haven't planned for your future. Yes, your parents might not have taught you. Yes, you might not have learnt about money in school, but the resources exist. The courses, the books, the podcasts, all of that exists to help you become more financially literate. Okay, so you have to invest in yourself in that way. Knowledge is power and power is confidence. So here are some of my favorite money habits that help me have a positive relationship with money. The first thing that I love to do is morning visualizations for abundance. I take time every morning to visualize myself living my dream life in my beautiful house, on holiday, with my family, building a business that impacts other people's lives. I take time to visualize how I want to live. What's my ideal situation? Living in abundance, money coming to me on a consistent level. And as I visualize that, it raises my vibration, it raises my frequency, and it enters my subconscious that this is possible for me. So creative visualization is so powerful when you are turning around your money mindset. And yes, your insecurities might come up as you do this. Park them to the side and continue with your ideal vision. Stop going into your future and thinking of the worst possible outcome. Yes, the worst possible outcome exists, but the best possible outcome also exists. The next thing that I do is I challenge my limiting beliefs. I used to think, oh, I'm just not good with investing, right? I was like, hang on, I don't want that to be a part of my identity. So I learned how to make investments. I watched programs, TV shows. I learned about the S&P 500. I learned about different things that I can do to invest and grow my money. So anytime a limiting belief comes up, oh, you spend too much, you're not good with managing money, you spend too much, I challenge that limiting belief so that the narrative in my mind is different. Another thing that I do is I now track my expenditure on a monthly basis. I was also one of those people who never liked to check her bank account, but now I check my bank account every day. Every day. You just have to do it. And at the end of the month, I put all my expenditure into a spreadsheet, or I use some apps that categorize my expenditure so I can see where most of my money has gone out in the month. And so if I want to get better at saving my money, I know what categories to cut spending in. So I've learned to set myself up for success. I've learned to gather data from my spending habits and from my money so that I can make better financial decisions. If you avoid looking at your money, you have no data for the future. So you just make decisions on a whim. So it's better to face it head on, get comfortable with looking at your money, seeing what's there, and then setting better goals that actually matter. Another thing that I do is I have a business savings account. So I set up direct debits that go directly to my business savings account. And I do this with Tide, something that I've mentioned already in previous episodes. So when I separate my actual income, my current accounts, I move the money into my savings account. It's like out of mind, out of sight, out of mind, right? And so that way I can manage my money better and hit my goals faster. It also helps me not have to overthink things, because if I say, oh, I need to carve out time to move my current account to my savings, all of that stuff, I might forget, I'll get too busy. Setting up a direct debit just allows me to make sure that all the money is going into my investment account, my savings account, all the different places I need it to go. It does it automatically for me. So there's no questioning or double thinking about it. And finally, the last thing that I've done to, help build my money mindset is to surround myself with positive people who have good relationships with money. People who have sent me resources, TV shows to watch, documentaries, right? People who have introduced me to money mindset mantras, to YouTube videos that have helped me rethink things. It is important to surround yourself with people who want to see you win, who want to see you grow, and are already even better than you at managing money so they can share some resources with you. These sorts of people can also keep you accountable. So shout out to my girls for putting me on some really, really good money saving tips. So I want you to choose one or two money habits that you're going to start with. If you haven't been doing any of those things, set yourself some little goals, some promises to yourself. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm just sharing ways that you can change how you feel, think, and act around money. Because if you have a scarcity mindset, if you feel nervous and anxious, that is going to impact your ability to build financial freedom. So just think about, how can I change the way I feel, think, and act about money to be more empowering and to give me the financial confidence I need to take my goals to the next level. So in summary, master your mind, okay? Understand the power of your mind and truly, truly master it. Identify your limiting beliefs. If you do not know the story you are telling yourself that is limiting, that is holding you back and sabotaging you, you are not going to be able to manage those thoughts. So you've got to be aware of that. You've got to build confidence in yourself before anything. Build confidence in yourself, because a confident person can then be financially confident. And then you need to make sure that with this newfound confidence that you are challenging the limiting beliefs you have around money. And then finally, you want to make it a lifestyle. This is you, baby. This is your new personality. This is your new identity. So act like the person you want to become. Act like the person you want to become. Make money choices like the person you want to become. If your future self thinks about money in a strategic and ambitious way, you can become that person in this moment. If you love this episode, please remember to like and subscribe, rate and review, whether you're watching on YouTube or you're listening on the podcast. Your comments mean so much to me. So if this episode has helped you change how you see money, change your money mindset in any way, if it's made you excited that there is financial possibilities and financial abundance waiting for you, I would love to know. Let me know in the comments. Share your thoughts, share your tips, right? If you've had a breakthrough with your finances, share your story in the comments. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Thank you always for listening and tuning in. Love you all. And until next time, stay confident and killing it.